Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Entertainment Vehicle. I hope you enjoyed The Giver. If you haven't listened, maybe go back and check that out. But if you don't want to, you don't like The Giver, you're not interested, then I have something new. So, I was thinking about doing Frankenstein, but I don't know. I was kind of wanting to do it for like Halloween, but it's past Halloween. So, now you understand the struggle. So instead of Frankenstein, maybe I'll do that next year. I am doing some fairy tales from Hans Christian Andersen. And he's apparently the one he's written like most of like the Disney fairy tale movies, and then they've been Disneyfied. And I'm not really sure. I mean, we're going to find out eventually, I guess. But I've heard like in The Little Mermaid, like she actually kills him or tries to eat his eyeballs or something. I don't know. Something weird. And then in some of the other ones, other crazy things happen. So I'm hoping that is true, that I was not misled, and that this will be fun because of the crazy shit we're about to find out. Today, I'm just going to be reading The Princess and the Pea, and I'll do The Darling Needle, which I already read once, and it's weird as hell, but I think it'd be kind of a good intro to the Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale verse. So, I'll just jump right into it. I hope you can bear with me. This is a new experience for me as well. If you want to hear the other fairy tales, or you want to hear the old stuff, you could just click on the podcast page on whatever listening platform you're on. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and I think Apple Music now. Or not Apple Music, Amazon Music now. So if you want to listen, follow on there. Maybe give a 5-star review at the end if you enjoy it. We'll figure it out. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. Sorry. And starting, The Princess and the Pea. Once upon a time, there was a prince who wanted to marry a princess. But she would have to be a real princess. Not a passenger princess. Or I guess that's just passenger princess. He traveled all over the world to find one, but nowhere could he get what he wanted. There were princesses enough. Oh, there's always princesses. But it's difficult to find whether they are real ones. I mean, usually the crown on their head, and if you look at their parents, you can kind of help figure that out, but we'll see. There was always something about them that was not as it should be, so he came home again and was sad, for he would have liked very much to have a real princess. Don't we all, bro? Come on now. One evening, a terrible storm came on. There was thunder and lightning, and the rain poured down in torrents. Suddenly, a knocking was heard at the city gate, and the old king went to open it. Alright, that's how you know this is a fairy tale. If it's raining out, there's no shot a king goes out to open that gate. One of his 1,000 servants do, for sure. I'm out of it already. It was a princess, though, standing out there in front of the gate. But good gracious, what a sight the rain and the wind had made her look. The water ran down from her hair and clothes, and it ran down into the toes of her shoes, and out again at the heels. Interesting. That sounds like it should be the opposite if she's wearing heels. I feel like it would go in at the heel, and then droop down to her toes and go out her toes. Maybe they were just so distracted by the toes. Hans Christian Andersen has a toe-foot fetish, confirmed. I'll be looking for that in some of his future stories I read. And yet, she said that she was a real princess. Well, we'll soon find that out, thought the old queen. I thought it was the king who went. Now the queen's the one there? What's happening? She said nothing, went into the bedroom, took all the bedding off the bedstand, and laid a pea on the bottom. And then she took 20 mattresses and laid them on the pea. And then 20 eider-down beds on top of the mattresses. On this, the princess had to lay all night. In the morning, she asked how she had slept. Oh, very badly, said she. I scarcely closed my eyes all night. Heaven knows what was in the bed, but I was lying on something hard, so that I am black and blue all over my body. It's horrible. Oh, I wonder what she was laying on. The king went in there and laid under the mattress, and she's just laying on top of him. Now they knew, though, that she was a real princess because she had felt the pee right down through the 20 mattresses in the 20 eiderdown beds. Nobody but a real princess could be as sensitive as that. So the prince took her for his wife, for now he knew that he had a real princess. And the pea was put in the museum where it may still be seen, if no one has stolen it. There, that is a true story. What in the fuck? What in the actual fuck, though? Because that's not how I remember the Princess and the Pea. The Princess and the Pea, I thought, like, they had tried it once, and then someone replaced it with a bowling ball, and then, she was like, oh, we must need to add more mattresses, and then, like, they made it increasingly bigger. I could have sworn that's how it was. I just got, like, I got bamboozled. I really genuinely believe that's how the story went. Let me know if you also thought that's how it went, because that... I feel like I got edged. Not to talk like a child, but I feel like I got edged. Where are the other bad beds? And I don't know. We'll just next story, the darning needle, and we'll get started on the darning needle. There was once a darning needle who thought herself so fine that she fancied she must be fit for embroidery. Wow, embroidery, the highest of sewing. And also, if you don't know, darning needle is apparently what a sewing needle is actually called. I never knew that. I never knew that. I've never heard anyone call it a darning needle. But this darning needle thought she was so fine that she was for embroidery. And she's like, hold me tight, she would say to the fingers when they took her up. Don't let me fall. If you do, I shall never be found again. I am so very fine. I mean, isn't that the truth? Every good girl you lose, they never come back, am I right? Damn. That's deep. Anyway, that is your opinion, is it? Said the fingers, as they seized her round the body. Hell yeah. See, I am coming with a train, said the darning needle, drawing a long thread after her, but there was no knot in the thread. Oh, does that mean she's a better darning needle or a worse darning needle? I don't know. I would, maybe, this is crazy sexual, but maybe her hole's just so tight that the needle just can't go through there, but that means it's able to do, like, perfect sews. Analyzing the fucking ergonomics and abilities of sewers in the 1700s. Let's go. The finger then placed the point of the needle against the cook's slipper. There's a crack in the upper leather, which had to be sewn together. What coarse work, said the darning needle. I shall never get through, because she's just so fine. I shall break, I'm breaking, oh nor. And sure enough, she broke. The darning needle's like, did I not say so? And I know I'm too fine for such work as that. And the fingers, well, this needle is quite useless for sewing now. But they still held it fast, and the cook dropped some sealing wax on the needle and fastened her fastened the cook's handkerchief with it in the front. And the darning needle's like, so now I'm a breastpin. There I am. I'm a breast on the boob. And the darning needle's, I knew very well I should come to honor someday. Merit is sure to rise. So apparently, going from a sewing needle to a brooch pin is an upgrade. Let's jot that down in our needle power scaling notes for later, just in case. And she laughed quietly to herself, for of course no one had ever saw a darling needle laugh, because she's just so proud. And she sat there as proudly as if she were in a state coach, and looked all around her. May I be allowed to ask if you are made of gold? She inquired of her neighbor, a pin who apparently looked gold. You have a very pretty appearance, and a curious head, although you are rather small, you little bitch. You must take pains to grow, for it is not everyone who has sealing wax dropped on them. Wow, she's an arrogant cunt. Literally broken and turned into a separate thing, and now she's being rough on someone who she thinks is made of gold. And as she spoke, the darning needle drew herself up so proudly that she fell out of the handkerchief right into the sink, which the cook was cleaning. Oh, now I am going on a journey, said the needle as she floated away with the dirty water. I do hope I shall not be lost. But she really was lost in the gutter. I am too fine for this world, said the Darning Needle as she lay in the gutter. But I know who I am, and that is always some comfort. And, I don't know if the moral of this story is to always, like, love yourself and feel proud of yourself and care for yourself, or if it's like your own arrogance is the cause of your demise. So, I mean, I guess we'll have to figure that out. And so the Darning Needle kept up her proud behavior and did not lose her good humor. Then there floated over her all sorts of things. Chips, like fish. Not fish, but British chips. So we're talking like French fries are floating over her. Crazy. French fries and straws. She must be in a McDonald's. And pieces of old newspaper. Yep, okay, old people there with McDonald's. The only thing that's not getting dropped on the ground is the coffee they're drinking. See how they sail, said the Darning Needle. They do not know what is here under them. I am here, and here I shall stick. See, there goes a chip, thinking nothing in the world but himself, only a chip. And you're just a little needle, you arrogant bitch. There's a straw going by now, and how he turns and twists about. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what straw... Oh, that's probably like horse straw, not an American McDonald's straw. I kind of forgot these were written in like the 1800s. There swims a piece of newspaper. What is written upon it has been forgotten long ago, and yet it gives itself air. I sit here patiently and quietly. I know who I am, so I shall not move. Okay, so she's so good that she doesn't need to go with the flow of the river. She's just gonna do what she needs to do, which the river is just like the water gutter. Or maybe it's not. Maybe it's down in the... I don't know. We'd have to study the plumbing system of England, maybe, back in the day? I don't know. Anywho, one day something lying close to the Darning Needle glittered so splendidly that she had thought it was a diamond. Yet it was only a piece of a broken bottle. So even the broken bottles can be beautiful in the world, right? The Darning Needle spoke to it because it sparkled and represented herself as a breastpin. I suppose you are really a diamond, she said. Oh, you better be. Why, yes, something of the kind, he replied, and so each believed the other to be very valuable, and then began to talk about the world and the conceited people in it. So they're just talking about each other. Boom, got him. I've known a couple people like that. You and me, baby. Let's talk about how beautiful we are. Anyway, I have been in a lady's workbox, said the Darning Needle, and this lady was the cook. She had on each hand 5 fingers, and anything so conceited as these 5 fingers I have never seen. And yet they were only employed to take me out of the box and to put me back in. Wow, that's a very good... That's kind of an easy job, it sounds like. Were they not highborn? The broken bottle asks. Highborn, with the rich laugh, said the Darning Needle. No, indeed, but so haughty. They were 5 fingers, all born fingers, and they kept very proudly together, though they were different lengths. Because, I mean, your fingers are different lengths, all 6 of them, right? The one who stood first in the rank was named the Thumb. He was short and thick, and he had only 1 joint in his back, and therefore could make but 1 bow. And he said that if he were cut off from a man's hand, the man would be unfit for a soldier. Untrue. I don't need a thumb to be a good soldier. Just grip it in your fingers. I don't know. Probably not. That would be knocked out instantly. Sweet Tooth, his neighbor, what in the fuck? Why is the pointer finger the Sweet Tooth? Dipped himself into sweet or sour, pointed to the sun and moon, and formed the letters when the fingers wrote. I don't know. I'm going to pretend the sweet and the sour is what you think it is. And the sun and the moon is also what you think it is. Holding his wiener up and then wiping his butthole. And then form the fingers is just the way you hold the pen. Longman, the middle finger, looked over the heads of all the others. Oh, Longman. That's what you can call me, Longman. Goldband, the next one, wore a golden circle around his waist. Oh, she was married. Maybe not. Because it depends if this person's right or left-handed. We have to get in the details, figure out the cook's handedness. And little Playman did nothing at all and seemed so proud of it. They were boasters, and boasters they will remain, and therefore I left them. So yeah, I do believe that this is going to be like a moral where, oh, the audacity of this bitch. And now we sit here and glitter, said the piece of broken bottle. At the same moment, more water streamed into the gutter, so that it overflowed, and the piece of bottle was carried away. Goodbye, Diamond Boy! And the Darning Needle, so he is promoted. While I remain here, I am too fine, but that is my pride, and what do I care? Wow, she's like the grandma or the mom or whatever in Titanic, if you remember. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong movie. I don't know. I feel like there was like some old lady who was just like a stubborn, grumpy B-word because she just was stuck in her ways. And she had such thoughts as these. I could almost fancy that I came from a sunbeam. I am so fine. It seems as if the sunbeams were always looking for me under the water. Ah, I am so fine that even my mother cannot find me. Had I still my old eye, which was broken off, I believe I should weep. But no, I would not do it. It is not genteel to cry. So, she can cry out of her eye hole. That's something. At least she has some sort of human, or not needle emotion, I meant to say. One day, a couple of street boys were paddling in the gutter, and they sometimes found old nails, farthings, and other treasures. It was dirty work, but they took great pleasure in it. Oh, they loved going through the gutter looking for trash. Guys, I got one! Hello, cried one as he pricked himself with the Darning Needle. Here's a fellow for you. And apparently he just knew the needle was a man, actually. And the Darning Needle, I'm not a fellow, I'm a young lady. But no one heard her because she's a needle. The sealing wax had come off and she was quite black, but black makes a person look slender, so she thought herself even finer than before. See, it's hard to hate her optimism, though. Like, she's definitely not a pessimist. Here comes an eggshell sailing along, said one of the boys. So they stuck the Darning Needle into the eggshell. And I'm not really sure how you do that. Do they mean like they just put it in the eggshell? Or did they jab it in there? White walls, and I am black myself, said the Darning Needle. That looks well, now I can be seen. But I shall hope I will not be seasick, or I shall break again. She was not seasick, and she did not break. It is a good thing against seasick to have a steel stomach, and not to forget one's own importance. Now my seasickness is past, delicate people can bear a great deal. Crack went the eggshell as the wagon passed over it. Good heavens, how it crushes, says the Darning Needle. I shall be sick now, I am breaking. But she did not break, though the wagon went over her as she lay its full length and let her lie. So, yeah, I don't know, I'm still a little in the middle, because there's definitely some self-esteem lessons a lot of people could be learning there. But also, that bitch is more of a narcissist than Walter White. No, I don't know. I actually can't think of... Evil Darning Needle. I'm going to give her a 2 out of 10. I don't like her. I don't want to hang out with her. But that's the end of those 2 short stories. I'm thinking that's kind of what I'm going to do with these older stories. Because A, there's no like copyright law with them. I could just fuck around and find out. And B, that was kind of fun. I mean, the fairy tales so far haven't been as dark, but they've been chaotic. Like, what even the hell is happening? So we'll figure it out. Hopefully a couple of them will be bangers, but I won't do more than like six to 8 of them if they're bad. I'll give them a good shot. It is Hans Christian Andersen. My goal is to try to get like the Snow Queen and the Ice Princess around Christmas time. So we'll see. But thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this new format, I hope you did. It felt fun. Go ahead and make sure you review the podcast in whatever listening platform. If you could, give it a 5-star review. The algorithm does funky things, and it only says 5 stars good, even 4.5 stars bad. So if you could, I'd appreciate it. In the comments, say what you thought about the frickin' fairy tales. They're weird as hell. Darning Needle is kind of stupid. I feel like that's a waste of time, but we'll figure it out. Alright, thank you again so much. Goodbye. I love you. Mwah. Bye.